Welcome everybody to Evil's Comics. I'm Mike. I'm going to be doing a review on Aliens Genocide from Dark Horse Comics. It's written by Mike Richardson and John Arcudi, or I think it's Arcudi. I'm sorry for mispronouncing that. Artist is Damon Willis and Karl story. We got covers by Arthur Suydam, I think is how you pronounce it, and on all four covers it's a 4-issue run. I mean, they're just amazing. Now the art inside is different, it's a little dated. Some of the art I really love. I think they really go all on board in the art on the fourth book, but overall I grew up on this art, and this is 1991, and you know, it's just its own little contained story. So the main gist of the story is just a scientist and a billionaire with money, and they're trying to develop this new super drug called, like, let me make sure real quick. I think it's like Alien Zip or something like that. Xenozip. It's shown right here. And they kind of show you that, you know, athletes, and that's kind of what, you know, this guy right here, you know, he's taking the Xenozip, and they show him being faster and stronger than everybody else, but they kind of show you that it's really aggressive. And on the same panel, he ends up, you know, down here, he ends up running through a wall, and he ends up dying. But the billionaire guy, he's trying to perfect the Xenozip because it has this side effects, and he's trying to get rid of the side effects. And basically he convinces, like, the military to pay to go to one of the alien planets and I don't know the right wording, but abstract alien jelly from the queen's egg sac, I guess you could say. And but that's the main gist of the story, is the guy hires like a team of colonial marines and basically goes back to LV 426, or it could be 219, or I don't even think they classify which alien planet they go back to. There is like this little like sabotage hidden plot that goes kind of briefly in the story. I don't think it's they do answer it at the end, but it's so minimal, it's not even important. But basically what they don't know what's going on is that there was actually like 2 queens that were born on this planet, and they show it right here. They got these green aliens and the red ones, and there's one queen, and they're both being born at the same time. And it's basically like 2 ant farms that are too close to each other that don't like each other, and they're trying to wipe each other out. So the next thing you know, you just got, you know, massive red armies versus the green alien armies, and they're wiping each other out, hence the name Genocide. So this whole mission from the get-go, you know, is kind of doomed to fail, because they think they were told that the aliens were going to be in like some hibernation state while the queen was, you know, just being born and the hive was being born, but they didn't realize that there would be 2 queens that were being born, and that there would be this whole war that was going on. So they get there, and it's just a whole mess of stuff going on. There's this whole plot where the billionaire guy, he's, you know, just like in every other alien story, it's kind of like where the military or the billionaire guy puts, you know, the alien assets more valuable than human assets. There's not too many characters. There's a lot of people in the story, but as far as the character goes, it's basically like the main billionaire, which is Grant. There is this one scientist, but you don't really come into his part until the last book. Felrom, I think his name is. There is a major that's in charge of the Marines. Her name is Lee, and then there's like this super soldier that they pick up along the way, who's just a regular human, but it's this whole like, is he the droid in the group? Because there's always got to be one guy that's a humanoid looking droid in Aliens. But he's Henriken, I think is how you pronounce his name. But that's basically the main plot and the story. Nowadays, I would say the art is really outdated, but I grew up on this, so it's very nostalgic. I mean, it has very, like, kind of like to me, it's almost like a 70s vibe, but this is Dark Horse Comics. This isn't, 80s or 90s. It is a horror comic, but again, it's a lot older, so I mean, the most is kind of like stuff like that. Again, with the great covers, and each one of them had really, really awesome covers. And they do have inside art that's really amazing and different, like the alien down here. It's just some pages is kind of like you could tell that the artist was either rushing to get it out, or because there's some art that's very bland, it's very basic. Like some of the people scenes are if you minus that and look at all the regular people scenes, they're it's stuff I could draw, and I'm not that good of an artist at all. Story-wise, it was decent. I'd give it like a 3 out of a 5. It wasn't the worst story I've read. I mean, aliens aren't... If you've read any alien stories over the years, they aren't the best of stories. But this one wasn't so bad. Once they did get to the planet, there is this, cool little thing where the Marines, have set up like these barriers, kind of like a shield or a dome that protects them while the aliens are doing their whole thing. And when they get there, it's just an all-out war. It's so massive there that they can't even move around. But they do come a little better equipped than some of the alien movies. I wish they would have showcased this in some of the other movies, but it's not an acid protection suit, but they do have an explanation what it is, and it's some kind of like suit that like it mixes the acid with water and something with pH balances or something, but it cancels out the actual acid blood. But basically they have these like the shields, I think it's right here. Sorry, I just hit the microphone. They get to the planet, it's just like all out war. They got the greens and the red, and I read through the first 3 comic books. And there's a little more of like how populated it is when the ship's trying to land. They can't even land. There's so many aliens. You do go through the book, and it's like, I think it was the 3rd book, and they finally mentioned that it's not green and red aliens fighting. It's actually green and black aliens fighting, which is funny because every time they show the aliens, it's always green and red. On the covers, they're just always black aliens. But I don't know about you, but I mean, right here you can see 2 aliens, and they look, green and red to me. I mean, maybe it was a printing error. I mean, they do use like a pastel type of coloring in this book, which I like. It's not bad. I will say the 4th book has some of the best art in it. It's like they saved it to the last. It wasn't a terrible read. It wasn't like I had to force myself to do it. Like I said, it's about a 3 out of 5. I'd say that the last book really kind of redeems it, and I wouldn't even say in plot points. The plot points are kind of like basic. Oh, this guy betrays. Oh, that guy. I mean, some of it was kind of obvious coming. The stuff I did like was actually them fighting the aliens and what they were coming up with once they were getting closer to the nest and that kind of stuff. All kind of interesting art inside to keep you going. This one does have a full spread cover. It also has it has like a mini poster inside. I'm not going to take out the staples to get it. I mean, if I ever get another issue, maybe. It has that same cover inside. It's like a little mini poster. I mean, if you got 2 of these, you could always take it out. Hey, you got a poster. It's just going to be a little short review. I mean, I picked this up at Half Price Books. You're going to hear that a lot. This is one of the nearest places I have to get comic books. I mean, altogether, this whole set of 4 comics was only $4. $4 and some change. So, I mean, for a quick little read, it's not bad. If you're new to the Alien franchise, it's great to pick up in. You don't have to, I mean, you have to know, like, the basic lore, and that's kind of it. As long as you've seen one of the Alien movies, it'll get you going. Overall it was okay. Um, I don't know. That's all I got. If you like this video, let's give it a like, subscribe. Everybody that has, thanks. Post any comments, any things that y'all might request me picking up. Right now I'm just doing reviews on stories that I have, like complete stories. I do have quite a bit of back stories, so like this was from 91. I do have a lot of modern stuff, but that's kind of, it's like 90s to 2000s. But thanks for being here.